Once upon a time, there were two men who lived completely opposite lives. One was a wealthy millionaire who lived in a magnificent mansion, wore the finest clothes, and ate the finest food at every meal. Not far from there, right at the gate of his house, lived a man named Lazarus, a poor, sick, and homeless man. Lazarus starved every day, hoping only to get a few crumbs from the rich man's table. Even the dogs would lick his wounds to comfort him. The rich man saw Lazarus every day, but never bothered or tried to help. He continued to live in luxury, contented with himself, not paying any attention to the suffering man before him. Then one day, a turning point came. Lazarus breathed his last and was carried by angels to heaven, where there was no hunger, no pain, no loneliness. There, he was comforted and lived in a happiness he had never known in his life. Not long after, the rich man also died, but unlike Lazarus, he fell into a dark, painful place called hell. There, he endured burning fire, thirst, and despair. When he looked up, he saw Lazarus at peace in heaven, but there was an unbridgeable gap between them. The rich man now craved just a small drop of water, something he had once had in abundance, but could no longer reach. In his distress, the rich man cried out, "Father Abraham, have mercy on me. Send Lazarus to dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue, for I am tormented by this fire." But Abraham replied with severity and justice, "Remember that in your lifetime you had good things, while Lazarus had only bad things. Now he is comforted, and you are in agony." These words were a reminder that everything in this world has its limits, and divine justice will come when the time of this world ends. No one can change that or cross the boundary between the two worlds. The rich man no longer has power, only belated regret. Realizing that he could not be saved, the rich man turned to his family. He pleaded, "Send Lazarus to warn my brothers, lest they also come to this place of torment." But Abraham calmly replied, "They have the teachings of Moses and the prophets, and they are enough to guide them in their right conduct." The deeper meaning of this answer is this: people do not need miracles or people coming back from the dead to believe in goodness. The words of God and the prophets are the light that guides them. If people do not listen to the truth that is preached, no matter how strange things they witness, their hearts will not change. True faith comes from free choice. The story of Lazarus and the rich man is not simply a moral tale. It is a powerful reminder of how we should live and treat others. Wealth is not a sin, but indifference to the suffering of others is what leads to tragic consequences. The rich man was not punished for his wealth, but because he turned away from the suffering that was right before his eyes. In contrast, Lazarus, who suffered deprivation all his life, was rewarded with eternal comfort. The story makes it clear that mercy and acts of kindness are the true measure of a man, not his position or status. The end of the story leaves a profound message. Life is not all about enjoyment, wealth, or fame. What really matters is the love we share, the help we give to others, and the spiritual values we leave behind. Whether rich or poor, we all face the inevitable end. But what separates those who rest in peace from those who suffer are the choices they made while they were alive. When we live with an open heart, caring for others, especially those who are disadvantaged, we build a legacy that will last forever. It is in that act of love that we find the true meaning of life. We sincerely thank you for taking the time to listen and reflect on the meaningful story of the rich man and Lazarus. Every minute you spend with us is a great source of motivation for us to continue spreading messages of love, kindness, and goodness to the community. We hope that today's story is not just a story, but also a gentle reminder for us to live more fully, to care, share, and act for those who need love around us. We wish you peace, happiness, and kindness in your daily life. See you again in the next stories.